How are things? How are you settling in?
Good. I know it's always a little different moving to a new place. Got to get used to, a new media room. But it's going well. It's a system I'm comfortable with. Have a really good feel for the offense. I know use a little time in OTAs, get used to kind of how the building works and who the coaches were and how everything kind of operated around here. So was able to hit the ground running for training camp.
Are you finding a lot of similarities or new wrinkles maybe that Kyle's added over the years since you guys have been apart?
Yeah, things have changed. There's a couple different stuff, and so I'm taking notes in meetings and trying to keep up with how things are different or how plays have moved or shifted or changed or wordage or how this O-line will handle stuff. So there's a bit of that adjustment to make, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job of it.
Like the centers are generally tied to one quarterback. Have you been working with Trey Lance or talking with Trey Lance at all?
The primarily just been with the ones in the team reps, and that's been mostly Jimmy, I think. But we do a couple different quarterback center exchange stuff, and so I'll get a little bit of carryover, but primarily working with Jimmy.
Alex, a lot of veterans have played as long as you have, say, training camp would be maybe this is not your experience, but training camp would be a bit of drudgery or just plain sucks. Is this coming to a new team? I don't know. Does this add excitement, or does it just change the dynamic for you? Or maybe are you challenged in a different way than you have been?
It's a good change-up. I know it's definitely a challenge to have things be different and get to learn a new routine, but it's one that I am accepting of and looking forward to. It is a new offense, it is a new team, a new area, a new town, and so it's a very fresh feeling, and I'm excited for it.
You talk about some of the wrinkles that may have been added in the scheme. One of them we saw today that we haven't seen around here is zone reads or the quarterback running. That's something I can't imagine you've had much experience with in your career, except maybe a little bit in Cleveland.
We've played around with that offense. It's nothing we did a ton of. It was one of those things that we did a little bit with, but never in season have I had a ton of experience with. But it's definitely been in the playbook before, and I have experience doing that.
You guys get a heads up, like going into practice today, like there might be runs incorporated for Trey, even though you guys are on the first string and not.
I mean, they're installing the offense as the offense. So if they want to run that with who they want to run it with, and then everybody knows. So it's not necessarily just that. And I think the ones ran the same thing. I just think it was a different call, different read at least.
Do you find yourself? I know it's still early, but do you find yourself going the mental challenge going against Fred Warner? Is that a little bit unique for you in your career, just in terms of a signal calling linebacker you're going against in training camp?
It's easier right now because both of us, both the offense and defense, haven't installed everything. I think the challenge will only increase as the defense starts to do more and more, and more blitzes, more fronts, more change up. So I like the chess match aspect of football. That is that about third down blitzes and picking stuff up and communicating that stuff through. That's very much, I think, what you're talking about. And that'll, I think, increase as camp goes on. And especially when we start getting deeper into camp or start game planning a different team, they'll really try to throw more of that at us.
Is that something that you and Fred ever talk about? Just sort of the chess match and hey, you did this is why I did this, type of thing?
That will be talked about a little bit. Generally, I try not to do it too much just because you don't get that advantage in a normal game. So usually it's all right, this is what you saw, this is what you could do, this is what they can do. It doesn't have to be a two-sided conversation. It can very much be huddle back into your O-line room corner and to do the same thing.
Having been back around Kyle for a little while now, how is Kyle Shanahan, head coach, maybe different from Kyle Shanahan, offensive coordinator, or is he?
I think he's the same guy. I think he kind of handles the team the same way. I mean, he is the guy in charge now, but he doesn't seem like he's changed at all, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's one of the things that makes him a really great coach is just how direct and real and, what's the word? Relatable. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
You talked about how you quickly become a leader and you take kind of younger guys under your wing. Is that something you kind of enjoy in the job of being a center?
I do. I think it's definitely, as an older player, you have that responsibility to try to help the younger guys as much as possible. I know when I entered the league, the older guys really helped out, and they've done it way longer and more than I had. And so their ability to give you tips and talk about stuff was really helpful. And so I really do feel that that is my responsibility as now the older veteran to try to help guys where I can.
Who's one who helped you out when you were a rookie?
I had a really great experience. Hank Fraley was the center in Cleveland before I got drafted, and I got drafted, kind of took his spot, and he was an awesome teammate the whole way through, helped me out, gave me all the help I could ever wish for, and I think it really helped me become a great player. And over the course of the year, he ended up playing guard for a while, and I was a center, and it was really great to have him show me what he would be able to see and kind of his ability to see the whole defense, because in college you just don't do it as much. You're not used to trying to watch the whole field and see all the blitzes and rotation and everything else. And so he was one of the people that really helped me do that.
When a team invests a second-round pick in somebody like Aaron Banks and he's not getting, I guess the expectation would be that he would start early on in his career. But when he's in training camp and he's not getting those starting reps, do you reach out to him? Do you have advice for him? And if you did, what advice would that be?
Just keep working hard. I don't think the fact that in day 4 of camp you're not, instantly on the running with the ones really means anything. I think very much will be over the course of all camp. He'll get plenty of reps wherever he does, and just to take it where he can. He's got the talent for sure. I think he just needs to keep working hard, and he'll be a really good player.
If a guy like Banks does start at right guard, and then you consider that Mike has put on a lot of weight, this is going to be a big line as far as size goes, bigger than last year. I know you weren't here last year, but how does that compare to some of the other lines you've been on under Kyle? I know they specialize in outside zone, but do you feel that this line could have a good power component to it with that size?
I think our offense would love to be very dynamic and keeping defenses guessing. Being one-dimensional is not what you really want to do. So the ability to run that outside zone effectively, and then when they start, overrunning, you can run inside zone into that, or you can run gap and kind of power scheme stuff to keep everybody honest and keep them guessing. I think that'll be a good dynamic to the run game. And then you match that all with our play action pass and just drop back, and you should have a very good offense.
Talk about how Hank Fraley helped you. What would be your biggest coaching point 4 days into training camp for Aaron Banks?
To Aaron Banks? I would say the same thing to any rookie in any position, is really to make sure you have a notebook, because you need to take notes, and then make the most of every rep. Don't take anything for granted. Really try to show up with a very open attitude for watching how other people are done, and be critical on how you yourself are doing things. So I'd tell any rookie to take your reps in walkthrough and work on the things you saw in practice. So in practice, you mess something up, you should take a note of that in meetings, and then in walkthrough, you should work on what you screwed up and want to improve.
I guess sorry, I apologize.
We got time for one more. The people want to see, yeah.
We'll get to the Olympics later.
It's no surprise Trinidad's been run, but we haven't really seen him actually do it, besides on a highlight or whatever. I don't know how much you said there, watch him today, but does it give you an idea, whether it's this season, 2022, what could kind of be possible for the offense with a quarterback like that?
I did not understand the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I guess just seeing, obviously, Trey Lance being able to run, we hadn't really seen it until this practice. There's really a sense of what might be possible with this offense with a quarterback like that, the zone read component and all that.
I think he definitely has a lot of physical gifts that he showed off today, and so if he can, continue to do that, and it's only good for a team to have a lot of really talented people around. So if he's able to be great at throwing the ball and great at running the ball, and gets every read and everything correct, like that's a great combo. And I think he's headed on the right path. All right, thank you.